The Transmission Control Protocol, or TCP, is the most common transport layer protocol by far. Almost all of the web's traffic runs over TCP. This includes HTTP traffic, mail traffic, etc. On the left side, we have our client computer, or our sending computer. And on the right side, we have our server, or our receiving computer. So the sending computer is going to establish a session with the receiving side. The receiving side is going to establish that session, is going to say, okay, I'm ready, send me some data. So the sending computer is going to send several data sets. So in this example, it sends dataset 1, dataset 2, and dataset 3. Let's say dataset 2 goes missing. For whatever reason, somewhere along the way, it just disappeared, which happens. It's a real life scenario on the internet. The receiving computer will confirm receipt of the datasets. So it will say, I received dataset 1 and dataset 3. After a timeout period, dataset 1 will realize that dataset 2 was never received since it never received confirmation, so it will automatically resend dataset 2. The receiving computer will confirm that dataset 2 was received, and now the sending computer will know that the entire dataset was received by the sending side. All of that happens automatically by the networking stack. Your application knows nothing about this process. Let's compare this to UDP, or User Datagram Protocol, and then we'll discuss the pros and cons of each protocol. So in UDP, the sending computer does not establish a session first. It just starts sending data. Here's dataset 1, here's dataset 2, here's dataset 3. Again, let's say dataset 2 goes missing for whatever reason. What will happen next is the sending computer will send dataset 4, dataset 5, dataset 6. In the transport layer protocol, there is no built-in mechanism to resend lost packets. UDP is great if it's okay to be missing some data. Video conferencing is a great example. Let's say dataset 2 represented second 2 in a video conference. By the time that TCP would realize that dataset 2 is missing and the sending computer resent that packet, we would already be several seconds down in the conversation. So taking that second of the video conference and replaying it 5 or 6 seconds later would be completely inappropriate. So UDP, with the lower overhead, there's not all the overhead of the sessions process, is much more efficient. So it's better for something like video conferencing. Usually we care about the data. We need all the data. So TCP is the preferable choice. Web pages are a great example. If it takes 3 data sets to transmit a web page to your computer, you can't have one of the data sets missing and still be able to render the page.